Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Endless Legend, where it looks like both us and Red have started to expand off of our little landmass here. Unfortunately, Red is expanding directly into a wall, while we have plenty of room to keep growing, should we feel like we need to keep growing. And I mean, it's probably a good idea, right? How are we doing on approval overall? We're at 98%, I mean, we should definitely pop spices. We should always have plus 50% food running as much as we possibly can. Are all of our cities actually fervent? Yeah, okay. Excellent. Excellent news. So we can probably afford... You're only at 92. So if we did get a, if we did get another city, at least some of our stuff would drop out of fervent from the extra expansion disapproval, not to mention the level of approval of the new city having to be jumped up, so there are definitely costs to setting up, but, like, more land, right? More land is more land. What is going on over here? Wait a second. Didn't Brown control all this territory, like, recently? Hold on a second. What's going on with Brown? Ah, Brown is at war with the cult, and the cult is a single city civilization, so when they take your stuff, they just burn it to the ground. So I guess Brown is probably about to be removed from the game, it looks like. Do they really only have one region left? And the cult likes us. We could just expand to fill all of this space, really. So there's some adamantium, there's more titan bones, there's a bunch of blood crystal. That over there is grass silk, which increases your money output from trade routes. You know, it's not a horrible idea. That would put us adjacent to pink, which I don't know if that's necessarily great. The Broken Lords can be very aggressive, in my experience. Definitely interesting, though. Worth thinking about. For the moment, I guess let's just keep building what we're building, and we'll see if it makes sense to pop out another settler. So, speaking of what we're building. Oh, you know what? I never did finish hacking up the garbage over here, which we, like, absolutely should do. This is what you lot need to be on. Go over here and burn down this fungus garbage. Yeg still has plenty of other stuff to stay focused on. So we don't want to do it with the city here. The only reason we're doing it with Atalu is that there are so many of these things. It would take forever to burn them down one by one. So, yeah, I guess for right now the plan is just keep building the things we're building. How are we doing on science relative to the other players? Research. Okay, we're accelerating past some people on number of total tax, but actually I think the space between us and green might have grown. Oh yeah, wow, okay, so green and pink are both putting out, at some points, considerably more than 1,000 science per turn, compared to our 774. Now ours is steady, we're not having these big weird spikes, but this in particular has me a little bit worried. You know, we might need to expand over onto this island and get adjacent to pink, just so that we have a staging ground from which to step in and crush them, because they might need that. They might need a small amount of crushing. And we know they have like a huge military, and yeah, all right, this is maybe going to be a problem. Well, we've done some of the prep work. We're ready to build new military units. I guess we'll just see. So maybe after Undand finishes the district it's building, we can talk about building a new settler. Alright, so already I'm seeing a lot of copies of the new strategics. We have now moved up into Era 4, the Age of Industry. So new luxury resources, new strategic resources, of course, new empire plans and whatnot. So we have... Wow, we have a lot. These resources are usually very rare, and I think the game balance around that is really good. The strategics, the higher level strategics, only existing in a few places in the world. This is very unusual, but yeah, there's just huge quantities of mithrite and hyperium everywhere. So that's interesting. The gold has run out. Definitely rerun the gold booster. That gold booster is like 100 dust per turn. Oh, yep. Red is mad because I ran people into his territory to steal his pearls, and I'll do it again. We've also got some dust orchids, some dust water, just a lot of stuff. Dust orchid is definitely one of the better strategics. Wait, where was the deposit? Oh, I see. It's right. This is dust orchid. Okay. Yeah. So as you can see there, plus 20% food and industry and dust and science on all your cities while that's active. So I am personally thinking that new extractor tech is absolutely the highest possible priority. And then there's a lot of really powerful stuff in this era as well. We'll consider it. We'll consider all of these things, you know, later. So there were some ruins I was running toward. I guess actually... Yeah, go this way and we'll try to grab that, because this one, the cliff, is a big problem. It's a shame that our long-term scouting hero isn't more of a flying unit. You know, it is 0 flying unit. I need it to be 1 flying unit. You know what our spying here, or what our scouting hero is, though, is a spy. Maybe we need to insinuate a spy into Pink's network and just see if we can't slow them down a little bit. We might try that. We might engage in the espionage system here. Alright, so in Endegir, there is so much stuff that we have left to do. There's so many things. Build a plow factory, I guess. I'll pull people off of food onto industry to get the food thing built. So plus 3 food on each exploitation. Obviously, this is more powerful the larger your city is. We will continue to expand. We will continue to make districts. One thing that I don't think I really talked about, we probably should, is that upgraded boroughs are one of the best ways to get influence. You can see each leveled up borough is providing 3 influence per turn, and each one that you build that's not leveled up is still providing 1. And given the very, very low yield of most things that give influence, especially in the early game, just building out more districts can be a very valuable way to get more. Not everybody has the luck of acquiring a hero who has so very much free influence attached to it. So this is still going, and we're, for the moment, the plan with the dust is save up, right? Save up and then buy out our market ban and hire a couple of heroes and then get rebanned from the market almost immediately. I think they can't do it the same turn, but they definitely can do it next turn. Let's come down here and search this ruin real quick. And then, yeah, I think we'll turn our hero northward and see if we can't figure out where Pink's capital is and maybe just insert her into it. What do we got? One of 2 possible ruins holds a lot of stuff. Archaeological pieces deciphered by some of the Empire's foremost authorities on the Endless have revealed something most intriguing and tempting. They suggest that the impenetrable security systems guarding a rare Endless artifact at an Aurigan ruins will soon be disabled for a fixed period of time. That's the good news. The bad news is that the evidence is ambiguous as regards to the exact location of the ruins, with 2 sites being prime candidates. Worse, the wrong site is most likely to trigger aggressive defense forces if explored. Ain't that always the way? If we find the right one, we can get this plus initiative necklace, which is fine. Honestly, not very exciting. And then immediately the quest failed for some reason. Not sure why that happened. Also, we lost this quest. Did somebody else colonize the region? Yep, that is exactly what happened. Okay, so now we have the Forgotten on my continent, which I am not a big fan of. Probably it's not a big deal. How do we feel like they're doing, especially in terms of military? Oh, they have the largest army on the planet. Fun. Okay. Yeah, that's bad news. That's definitely bad news. We could try diplomacy. We could try just, if they like us, they're unlikely to attack us. Could we overcome that with a little bit of material wealth? boy, it would not even take very many Titan Bones to buy them off, but, like, also, I need those Titan Bones. How are we doing on that booster? We're bringing in 4 per turn, so we're going to get another 28 before our current booster ends. So we actually don't need to hold on to very many in order to make sure that things will still run. What is Blue's relationship with everybody else? They're just sort of, yeah, just sort of Cold War. Let's try it. Let's try buying ourselves into a little bit of peace. We could give them a bunch of Hyperium, but I'm a little nervous about doing that. Give them a bunch of dust. Huh. They don't currently know how to suggest peace to people. That's interesting. I wonder why these are red. I guess it's just they're marked red because they're terms that would not help the deal. So we could just give them a technology. We're quite far away from the next Empire plan, so we could probably afford to spend some influence. And then if we do this, honestly, we might be able to get something back. Do they have anything that I particularly want? I mean, I would take a tech from them if they were willing to give us something interesting. They are not interested in giving me Advanced Harvester, that's for damn sure. But, like, Hydrology, it's not bad. Hydrology's useful. And then we could give them something else. I don't know, deal's getting a little complicated, and in terms of, in Endless Legend, that means a little expensive. So probably we just take this very, very positive deal. They do have a bunch of wine. Yeah, I think we just take this deal that's way in their favor. We will gain a little bit of, like, happiness from them for having made a deal that is so massively in their favor. And now, at the very least, they cannot attack us until, without, spending the time and diplomacy resources to break that down back to Cold War and then from there to war. So, hopefully that'll keep us safe-ish. So, we are safety adjacent at the very least. Let's see. What do we want to... We probably want to build some more science stuff. Or no, you know what? This city doesn't even have a plow factory yet. So we're bringing in an awful lot of dust all of a sudden. Is that trade route stuff? No, where did all this extra dust come from? Did I just finish... Yes, okay, I finished 2 refineries on the same turn. That's what happened. Okay, then yeah, I feel comfortable moving Amenvar's population over to other stuff then. So Slick is also going to need new stuff. I'm not in a big hurry to build the Quicksilver or the Blood Crystal extractor, although, Blood Crystals might not be awful. We could start building out toward the ocean. Let's get right of way up, and then we'll probably build some districts, and then once we have some districts, like, some advanced alchemy lab starts to make sense, right? I think that's reasonable. Alright, so the demon has 8 move. He'll be able to catch up with his army, eventually. And you, like I said, just head north. The cult does have an army in place. They are doing the thing. Oh, and they've killed the garrison, and they've got the city down to 12 fortifications. So yeah, Brown's about to be removed from the game. I wonder what they did exactly to upset the cult. I mean, to some extent, it's just like, the cult does get benefit from destroying cities. They get to, like, wrest a lot of stockpiles out of it and stuff. Maybe the cult was just hungry, and they were the thing that was convenient to eat. It's a bad beat. It's rough for them. Somebody has a question for me. You may as well grab those pearls as you're on your way over here. A map exchange with Blue. You know what? Sure. I don't see any reason that would be really bad for me. Okay, so that's given us a lot of information about the state of the world, then. Here's the remaining neutral Urkin. Blue still has... Okay, yeah, Blue still has one of the Urkins, and then where's the other one? The other one... okay, here we go. Fakir is currently controlled by Green, and here's Green's huge, terrifying capital. With all of its fungal structures, and its great big science temple. Man. I sure do like the art in this game. All the vision we're getting from Purple has been very helpful. Alright, just carefully, stealthily sneak across the border. Alright, I mean, it's not nothing. So this cargo dock will level up this district and that district simultaneously, because it'll be the 4th district adjacent to both of them. And there's a chance that that will complete this quest here, and if it doesn't, then we'll just do the thing in Atalu, it'll be fine. We can certainly buy some districts, and maybe delay the hero thing for a little bit. It would be nice to just be able to hire heroes whenever we want, though. We gained some security by starting adjacent to Red, but getting banned from the market really sucks. Okay. That's the Ardent Mages, defeated. Our stuff is getting burned down by Red still. Okay, yes, that did complete the quest. Wonderful. The cities grow, the Empire prospers, and we have the resources to go beyond everyday tasks. It has been a time of great learnings. First, you learned that Achak Adahi would rather die than admit his failures. He and a band of shaman attacked the palace, hoping to start a revolt. Your hand has not been on the sword hilt much of late, but you still had the reflexes needed to run him through at the door of the throne room. Those who followed him turned to lichens and disappeared in the night, which apparently is just a thing we can do. I didn't realize that. Many fell defending you, and some of those were from the people you assimilated. You also learned that you command great loyalty. You learned, finally, that rumors of a thing called Zaltana were in fact stories centered around a person, a Hote Zaltana. Tales indicate he was once a wild walker, and that he has studied the secrets and structures of the ancients for many decades. He has named them the Endless, for he believes that their works will endure until the end of time. 2 things are certain. Zaltana would be of enormous value to you, and you have no idea where he is. So, look for Ahot Zaltana by searching this ruin here. And that's also just a guardian there, just a big ol' neutral guardian. Well, okay. This is inconvenient. This is not where I want to have to search. The blood crystals run out, and we don't have enough to run more, which means... Okay, I mean, we're holding. It did drop Amanvar, though. Okay, we do need to run another booster. It would be nice, anyway. Okay, so what's next? We could press for extractors for the strategics. I don't know that that's immediately necessary, though. The thing is, we don't actually have a use for this stuff right away. There are buildings that we could research that would make us need some. And obviously, Imperial funding is very good in our current situation. But that doesn't, we're not necessarily in a big hurry here. These techs are pretty good. +3 industry on every tile that has industry is pretty solid. Mining rights is pretty solid. Additional minor faction assimilation slots. Ruins that have already been searched can be searched a second time, and a movement bonus on roads is pretty cool. The ability to propose alliances is definitely interesting. Let's see, we have growing the size of our armies again, just plus 20% defense on all of your units all of the time is fun. The ability to run armies composed entirely of mercenaries without our flag over their heads. This is a thing that gets unlocked in Era 4 for most factions. I believe the roving clans have a special technology that does this in Era 2, which is why I thought it was a possibility that they had already done that to us. Then, of course, there's weapon and armor tech, based on the resources. I honestly don't know. I sort of want to grab endless mechanisms, because I think we're a little busy in all of our cities right now, and this can sometimes yield a tremendous amount of resources. Exactly the kind of resources you might use to, say, buy your way out of a harmful market ban. I don't think I care about the gold as much as I care about the spices, so let's come down here and burn that one first. And then here we are absolutely going to get that dust water extractor up. That is the most important thing. So we had another source of dust orchids somewhere, didn't we? Ah, yes, the capital. Okay. I know I was talking about building a, Oh! Glass steel. We don't actually have enough glass steel coming in. Well, that's inconvenient. Okay, well, that being the case, hold on a second. I would much rather have a dust orchid deposit getting mined than a dust water deposit, which just increases the amount of dust you make every turn. So I don't know, maybe that means that we're building a settler in Slick? Do we want to grab more territory adjacent to Pink? Well, you know what? There's a dust orchid deposit in that area, so yeah, sounds pretty okay to me. And then we need to decide what we're going to do about the about this, because I do want to go and scout and set up a spy thing. But Arla's really the only one that we have available for this process right now. Alright, you know what? We're going to unassign Arla, which is a thing we can do because she is unlocked. And then we're going to create her as an army on... what is that city's name? Atayu. Okay. As long as the hero's lock is not on cooldown, they can just teleport, basically, at will. Alright, we did it. Hooray! Based on information gleaned from the sites, Zeltana must be located in this region. In fact, in that ruin right over there. So I guess that's a thing we will deal with next turn. It is still probably the case that finishing our faction quest is our best path to victory, so we gotta take this pretty seriously. We're doing lots of good research, and... apologies if the thumping in the hallway is coming through on the microphone. The dog is awake, and she's very excitable in the mornings. You know, she has a lot of running to do. Got a whole night worth of running all stored up. Okay. Yeah, just keep at the plan for the moment. Getting Dust Orchid online is going to be a big help to anything we might want to do. It is definitely my favorite luxury. Oh, winter. Right, I was not paying attention to the timer on that. It shouldn't be a big deal for us, I would think. Right, I think we're under control. What's the new thing? Minus attack on infantry units, plus attack on ranged units. That's, like, incredibly good for us. And keep in mind, infantry is the name of a class of unit. It's not just any unit that is an infantry person, so... Oh, it has a fungal bloom on it, right. So you kind of can't do anything, then. Oh! Espionage! Great! My empire has been the target of a level 5 decrease vision action. Reduces to minimum vision of armies, cities, and regional buildings for 4 entire turns. So, here's the deal. Heroes can be placed into other players' cities as spies. When a spy is in a city, they build up what's called infiltration points every turn, and the amount of infiltration points they get per turn is based on the level of their spying capacity. There's a whole bunch of actions they can take that cost infiltration points, and higher levels of those actions are possible if you just leave the spy in the city for a long time to sort of like build up their situation. So somebody has had a spy in our territory for a considerable period in order to be able to launch a level 5 anything. I'm going to go out on a limb here and assume that this is Red's doing, but it could be Pink. We know Pink had vision of our cities. And then every time that a spy performs an action, there's a chance that they will get caught and either wounded by the City Watch or potentially even, like, imprisoned. In order to insinuate a spy into a city, you have to have current vision of the city. You can see the infiltrate button here is only visible on things we can actually see, not things that are visible through the fog of war. So somebody had to get a unit close enough to us to see a city's nameplate in order to do that. Very easily could have been Red. Red can see our cities all the time. And like I said, we had Pink sail by recently. It could also be the cult, I suppose. The cult had units over here and could definitely have seen Atayu's nameplate. It doesn't seem terribly likely to me, just because, like, what would be the benefit to the cult of doing that? And they like us, right? We're not fighting with them or anything. But it's definitely concerning. It is for sure worrying either way. So let's get our glass steel extractors up, because it turns out that we could use a little bit more glass steel income. These higher level extractors are glass steel expensive. And then probably also some more burrows. Let's level some things up. So pearls have spawned right here, which is handy since we were running down here anyway. And then let's burn a fungal thing. Did green have units around here? Because green definitely has reason to be annoyed with me. You see a flying unit can even just path over completely unpathable tiles. Those great, beautiful wings. I do love flying units. And so you need to search this, but there's no sense in having you in burn mode, because that's going to get burned off in 3 turns anyway, and you're not helping. So I guess I'm just going to have you run around our territory here a little bit and see if any pearls spawned. Not easy for us to do, given the vision damage thing that just happened. You know, I wasn't really thinking about this, but honestly, the pearls may be why that happened. It might be the case that, like, Red just bombed out our vision so that they would be more likely to be able to grab any pearls that are around us. Yeah. It's a pretty solid strategy, honestly. Okay, I mean, we continue to work on this. Honestly, an Abbey of Anomalies here would be pretty strong. Do we want to just buy that out? Probably not. That tile's mostly giving us dust. Okay, we're currently running everything that we can. Yeah, alright. It does feel like we have a lot of turns here where it's just like, well, I guess I hit next turn. But, I guess I hit next turn. So I'm going to take us up to, like, 2,000-ish dust, I think, before we try to buy off the market ban. Because I would like to acquire a whole bunch of heroes, and I don't know exactly how expensive they are. We kind of have to guess a little bit on that. Okay, the cult dropped us back to Cold War. That's bad news. And the Urkins. The stuff's going on with the Urkins. The great ancient beasts of legend have broken through Auriga's crusts and are beholden to none. Towering over the land and riddled with aggressive lice, they are a dangerous foe, perhaps best avoided, but they also offer the possibility of great power. Truly, the Empire who can control and advance Khazar, Chaka, and Fakir to their full potential will be mighty indeed. I don't know what the objective is for this quest, because I don't think I've ever seen it get completed. If you have all 3 Urkins tamed and you've unlocked all 13 of their special abilities, you probably don't need a reward. You're probably already able to win the game off of that alone. So I don't know why that's even a quest, frankly. I am concerned. I have concerns about the cult. Mayhap they are hungry again, you know? So what do we do about that? We build science buildings, I guess? Like, this would be pretty good here. We focus on food. We just really, like, pump out a lot of population really fast. And we still build science buildings pretty quickly. That's where I'm at. You don't go too far. It's going to be 2 turns until we have endless mechanisms up. Yeah, I guess just come back home and be nearby, because now also I'm a little worried about the cult attacking us. We have a lot of influence right now. Maybe we should just try to negotiate with them and see if we can get back on the peace train. We should also definitely build out some districts here. We should get ourselves in the direction of leveling things up. Alright. So lots of important stuff going on everywhere. Hey, Brees. What's up? What are you so mad about? You're not even that mad, really. Let's just give them something that they're going to like a lot. Ooh, let's give them the ability to build trade routes. Because I sure would love it if they would build some cargo docks. That's beneficial to us in a bunch of different ways. Maybe actually get some ocean trade established. It's possible that that's all they wanted. The demoting us to Cold War was just about demanding tribute. And you know, if that's the play, I'm not necessarily upset with them about it. It's a pretty smart move. You should just stand right here so you can search this stuff quickly at the beginning of next turn. You're doing very important stuff. Everybody's doing a lot of important stuff. One to 15 more turns of winter. It's definitely not ideal. It will be nice to finally see all of this fungus recede. So I hit the end turn button pretty quickly there. This is probably the first time in this game where the AI had not finished their turns before us. So that's why that's taken a second. Definitely keep the Moonleaf running at all times, forever. Search this, get 150 dust. I mean, okay. Search this and receive a Zaltana. Hooray! A legend has stepped out of the forests and into your tower. Now, you must grow and exploit that legend. Well, I do love to exploit things. Half mystic, half scientist, Zaltana is both everything you expected and nothing at all like what you expected. It is fortunate that he communicates with schematics and designs, for when he communicates with words, much of it sounds like gibberish. Regardless, the lucidity of his drawings speaks directly to the visions that you have seen. A great base, a soaring tower, a monument to the constructions of the Wild Walkers, and a place to weather whatever storms Auriga might bring. But the techniques and materials are beyond what you know, and it is for this reason that Zaltana must first improve his skill, and then find an ancient site where he can apply that ability. Other reasons that you speak of to no one, have also compelled you to fund and staff Zaltana's expedition. The more you study the ancient texts, the more your sages and searchers plot and analyze the cycles of winter and the occurrences of storms, the more you realize that Auriga seems to be on a downward spiral. You do not know where the spiral may lead, and what the fate of the planet may be, but you are guessing that ruin and devastation will come for those who are not prepared. Yes, I am guessing that. That's true. So, we gotta get Zaltana leveled up enough to earn the skill Natural Resources Level 2. Let's have a look at our friend Zaltana. Natural Resources Level 2... okay, is right here, so that's pretty straightforward. We just go Functioning Insomniac, which reduces the assignment cooldown, the lock period, and then +1 Industry on terrain with Forest, and then we just need 2 more skill points to pour into this. So let's go ahead and commit Zaltana as governor here in Atayu. There's a couple of reasons for that. First of all, Atayu obviously is the place where we have the largest number of forest tiles, and so it will get the most benefit out of the skill we just took. But secondly, Atayu actually has a pretty functional economy and has a lot of buildings that it will benefit from putting together in real quick succession here. So we'll get a lot of XP on Zaltana from that, from just completing buildings and stuff. More Moonleaf Extractors seems like a good idea. That didn't actually commit. There we go. Grass silk, sure, why not? Emeralds? I love emeralds. More emeralds? Of course. There's some titanium to to extract. Okay, all of this stuff needs to get built. And then, if we really want to accelerate Zeltana's level up, what we need to do is put some units into this garrison, right? So we might actually just go ahead and do that right here. Hold on. Let me detach my hero from this army. Hero, stay in burn mode. You lot, get in the water, and we'll try to just sail across. It could be dangerous crossing, because obviously there are ships out here in the neutral space. And then, oh, this is a Wings of Ruin. Ruin. So, there's this quest running on that. I don't really care about that. I don't really care about unlocking the anti-Guardian unit. So, at this point, I think Arla is just headed back toward pink, but now we can research all of the ruins on the way over there. Alright, even more money. Hooray. And you seem to have stopped burning down that ruin. Hey, don't do that. I need you to finish with that. Okay, so what is up next? The other players in the game are definitely getting a little bit more aggressive, so maybe we want to push for greater maximum army sizes, or just like bonus stats for our military units. I definitely think we need to be a little bit military focused. We are going to need the rare metals for the building that you make at the end of the faction quest. So, you know what? Let's go ahead and get this established now, and then we'll figure out what we're doing with our military afterward. Okay, so we have all of that's going. And dust. Dust is not as good as I would like. We need more dust income. Alright, so let's go ahead and build a district here that'll be a level up on the city center, and then we can consider continuing to level up more beyond that. Honestly, what we probably ought to do is build cargo docks as well. Huh, why can I only build the cargo dock there? I'd prefer to build it here, so that it's... Yeah, that is an exploitation. Oh, huh. That tile is marked as inland water. As are these tiles. Well, that's very strange. So, the distinction there, tiles like this, that have no connection to the ocean, are supposed to be inland water, and then you have coastal water, which has some different rules. I guess some of the tiles around the edge of this continent are marked incorrectly, for whatever reason. I don't think it ends up mattering very much, because this will still function as a 4th district adjacent to this tile. It will mean that we don't have a 4th district adjacent to this. If we could build it here, it would work for both of these, and then if we built a real district over top of the glass steel, it would let us level that up. But, I mean, missing that is not such a big deal. Very weird, though. Very, very weird that those tiles are marked that way. So I'm sort of debating committing a bunch of our dust to Atayu just to like really rush through all this construction super fast. No, we'll keep at it like this. And then okay, the vision thing has ended. We now have our normal vision again. Remember, people can't attack us within our own territory without declaring war. So we're safe for right now. So let's just hang out and let all of Green's ships in this area move around. And then we'll move after they're exhausted. Somebody just entered the next era. And by somebody, of course, I mean Green. Oh, luxury boosters are ending, and we should definitely refire them because we need fervency. I do mean Green, right? Actually, green and pink are both at the same number of techs. They probably did it the same turn. Okay, yeah, so they're both like actually really moving up on a game-winning condition with a lot of speed. Alright, yeah, we'll sail out like this. and then as soon as the next turn begins, sail back into our own territory. Okay. And over here, we can build more district. Again, just start leveling stuff up. So if we build our districts in sort of 2 straight lines, everything except the edges will end up being surrounded by 4 districts, so we'll have a bunch of leveled up stuff in the middle. You can also build in sort of like triangular shapes, and then anything that isn't a corner ends up surrounded by 4 districts. Which thing is correct to do really depends on like the shape of the terrain you're building through, and also the number of districts you intend to build in total. Let's have this hero run up here and research one of these ruins. And you know what? I don't think we actually are going to even bother burning off this... burning off the fungal growth on this gold deposit. It is not critical for us to get more gold income. We already have enough for us to be running the booster constantly. And I would rather focus this hero's time for the moment on just searching ruins again. Let's make sure we get all of the ruins on this continent searched a second time as quickly as possible, because it ends up being an awful lot of resources. Like I said, the dog wakes up with a lot of stored up energy. I can hear her getting kind of gently yelled at a lot in the hallway, so apologies if any of that is bleeding through. She's very energetic. She's a very energetic critter. Okay. And I think we're good. We're about to finish that settler. We're getting pretty close to our roughly 2k goal. I'm hoping that this will let us buy 3 heroes when we buy our way back onto the market. Somewhere in the neighborhood of 3 heroes. That'll still mean that we don't have heroes for all of our cities, but it'll be a good start. It will get us somewhere. So wait, the Dust Orchid deposit was not one of the things I put high up on the schedule here, but it probably should be. I'm going to put it right behind the Plow Factory. Alright, let's just make sure we hit the Run Fast button right at the beginning of the turns that that Navy moves over. It is probably the case that this is the continent we want to have our army on anyway, so it makes sense for them to be over here, beyond even just the experience points. Alright, then we just have to get them adjacent to the city so that they can jump into the garrison. And questions. Pink would like peace, and purple would like to make a really awful trade with us. Spices have run out, and we don't have enough to reboost, but we're working on it. We're going to end up with additional spice deposits over here and stuff. Yeah, that's a shame, though. That's a booster that would be really nice to have active at all times. So, what do we do here? +3 science on terrain with river. We only have like 3 river tiles in this city, right? This is a little bit better. Because we are actually exploiting all 4 of these water tiles. This is +15%, or +15 science on each tile that has an anomaly on it, which I think in this city is only 1, and it's going to remain only 1, right? Is that altar? That altar's not built on... No, I'm just seeing the side of the altar. That's not the anomaly symbol. So, yeah, there is a second anomaly, but it's all the way over there. I guess it's not going to end up being much better in any other city. This city might eventually build out enough to grab that. But we should build it somewhere, because it also lowers our margin of error for season predictability. And it's really nice to know both when winter is going to start and when it is going to end. So, yeah, go ahead and do that. That's a thing you can work on while you're continuing to just pump population. And I'm going to accept this for right now. Let me double check. If they're, like, at war with any of our friends, that would maybe be a move that would be tricky to defend in the long term. But if they don't want to fight me, the thing is, a long-term danger here is that if we make peace with them, It does give me a little bit of security from them for a while, but if we make peace with them, it will encourage our other friends to also make peace with them, because you get that we have a mutual friend diplomatic bonus. And then at some point, it may well be the case that I have to attack Pink to keep them from winning a science victory. And I don't want other empires to like them at the time that happens. Why are you careful? Because I colonized a region near you recently. I'm actually really uncertain if that's a good idea. I sort of want to have a coalition of people here. You're feeling pretty trusting. You're mad because I'm doing a better job with my empire. And we have border friction with the cult a little bit. I sort of want a coalition of factions that we can try to work together with against Pink and Green, since Pink and Green are, in my opinion, the two who seem most likely to win an internal victory type, like the two we are most likely to have to disrupt. I don't know. It's hard to say if this is a good idea or not. Do we have anything else we can do this turn? Any other decisions to make? Let's make easier decisions. All right, we know we want to do this. We just want to run you out over here at Yig. Do we move you already? No. Go ahead and grab those, and then we'll come up here and grab these two ruins way up north before we head back south for the sort of the denser group of them. And gosh, it's nice to actually have functional roads. Also, hooray, more pearls. Alright, Slick needs a new build. I don't necessarily think that the Quicksilver and the Blood Crystals are very exciting, especially because we don't have a lot of sources of them. And as such, we won't be able to keep those boosters running all the time anyway. But having another resource that we can potentially trade, or potentially just fire a relatively meaningless booster of for the purpose of boosting our approval, is probably a pretty solid idea. And with that, I guess we have made all of the other decisions. The only thing that is left really is to... Oh no, we have this still. Let's move you through here. It would be really great if nobody else settled this while we were moving that unit over. And Pink is really the only one who is likely to do so. Okay, Purple's expanding pretty quickly. And they have this now, so they're almost certainly going to take that. You know, we can probably play on tension between Purple and Pink pretty easily. It's going to be harder to get the cult to show up to a fight against Pink, unfortunately. And Blue is, even further away from everything else that's happening. Yeah. And I think we can just kind of keep letting Red starve. It looks like Red is... Us blocking Red off here has slowed them to the point where they're maybe not even realistically in the game anymore. So, peace with Pink. I think I'm going to say no. I don't want to fight Pink, but I more than that don't want to take actions that are going to lead to Pink having a bunch of friends. God, my abstract military strength rating is 1300. Theirs is nearly 28,000. No, you know what? Cowardice. Cowardice wins out. I accept. I wonder why they even wanted that. Maybe they're planning on running a settler down here and they just tricked me into not being able to attack it in the neutral territory. That'd be a hell of a play, if that is what they've done. Also, wow, look at the number of mithrite deposits in these two territories over here. That's very strange. This whole island is extremely mithrite rich. Weird. Weird stuff. How many turns is it going to take this unit to get over there? It's going to be one more turn into the water, then 2 turns across the ocean, then there's no roads or anything, so several. More than one by a bunch, it looks like. Is this the turn that we should go for getting access to the market again? Let's have a quick look at how much influence we're trying to save up here. So, it would be very helpful if we could get some of these tier 4 Empire plans, but they're so expensive that it's not very realistic, I think. In particular, plus 50% dust on all, or food rather, on all cities would be kind of neat. But, you know, just 2,400 extra influence there. Probably not a thing that we can get in the next 5 turns. So, yeah, we're not even probably jumping up to there. I think we're probably just going to end up on this same plan we've been on, which means we can afford to spend quite a lot of influence on wrangling with the roving clans. 2,087 dust, and we don't even have positive income right now. Yeah, I guess let's go ahead and try it. Let's see if we can get out of this market ban. So, hard nullification, actually just as expensive as it has been this whole time. I must have misremembered how that works. They're extremely uninterested in peace, very mad at me. We could give them a technology. Boy, even very modern technologies do not get us out of it. We could give them a bunch of Moonleaf, and we can probably afford to do this, right? We have a ton of Moonleaf. Yeah, in 8 turns, we will earn more Moonleaf than we need for a whole booster, so we can definitely afford to just give them everything. We're going to have to give them a little bit more than that on top of it, but it seems pretty doable. And then they sure would love some of our dust, but we kind of need that dust. I'll give them some Titan Bones. Just like the smallest number that we can get away with. Alright, bought our way back onto the market. Heroes are currently 1,000 dust each! Wow, okay. Well, 2 is just gonna have to do. So, Wayrasigo here is food boost and industry boost, and also a Wild Walker, so gets those good Wild Walker skills, like plus industry on forests, and also plus industry all the time. So that's definitely compelling. Who else is up here? Dust efficiency up, that's... So the difference between boost and efficiency is the efficiency capacities affect citizens working on that resource, while boost is just a flat increase. Efficiency is better on well-developed cities that are specialized toward that thing. So if we're only going to be able to afford 2 heroes, and it looks like we'll probably have to sell some stuff even to make it that far, it's gonna be Wayrasigo, and then we could grab, like, we're really just looking for governors, right? We already have military commanders. Sayala Tocho has industry boost too, which is cool. I mean, we're gonna buy Wayrasigo. Let's go ahead and grab that. And then we're gonna need to make some sales, but let's figure out what we're buying first so we know exactly how much. Okay, so you have Dust Boost 3. Broken Lords are very dust-focused. So extra dust from rivers, extra dust on tiles that give dust, extra resource extraction, very powerful stuff. Eventually just a huge amount of bonus dust per turn. Duke Weybridge, not necessarily a bad call. That might be the one. Najnezolia gives science efficiency 1. A huge amount of the capacities these heroes have will be stuff that is related to their presence in battle. When you're looking for governors, you're really just paying attention to the faction, because it affects the faction tree, obviously, the skill tree. And then, the 1 or maybe 2 capacities they have that are relevant to governing. There is another Ozek available, Ozek the Chosen II. Honestly, it's probably another Ozek. That feels pretty strong. So we're short just a tiny little bit of dust for that. Let's sell off some of these emeralds. Ozek, welcome aboard. And then we may do some more selling in a second here. So, We would prefer to put down Soyalatocho in a place that has forests, obviously. Yeg is not a bad one. Or Wayresigo, rather. And then we'll probably bump Wayresigo to the new city when it gets laid down, but I think it's totally fine to just commit right now, get the 3-turn lock, and, like, it will take more than 3 turns for the next city to get set up anyway, right? So we'll just take that, generate a little bit of extra industry and food here. So, plus 4 food for each level of the hero. So right now, 16 food, and then also 24 industry, and then the percentage boosts, which at this point in the game are starting to become actually pretty relevant. And then the other one is a cultist hero, and as such is most effective in cities with large populations. Who would have thought? Somehow it's become Endegir. Interesting. They're actually both Ozek the Chosen the Second. That's a little weird. Yeah, come over here. And you also have unspent skill points. Alright, 1 level of Impassioned Preacher. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. And then we would like to run another booster. So let's see if we can sell some stuff to the market to pick up enough resources to fire, like, the spices again immediately. I would love to have spices running. So we need 15 more. It's going to be 130, and then after we buy 10, the price is going to go up, and we're going to have to buy another 5. So we need to make a reasonable amount of money here. Probably selling emeralds is a pretty inefficient way to get where we're going, but also, gosh, we have a lot of emerald income. We'll sell down, buy this, and then what's it going to take to get me the rest of what I need? 96.7. We could sell off some adamantine or palladian. We have pretty okay incomes of these, and these will be a little bit more valuable. Let's have a look at the demand values here. Actually, demand for everything is super low. Everybody's just been selling resources. There has not been a ton of war. So let's see. We can sell down some of this. That'll get me to buying the rest of the spices, at least. And launching that will get our empire back to fervent, which will help with our money problems. Oh, hey! Trade routes! They actually did build that dock. Hooray! So we finally have a little bit of trade income. That's right, you don't have internal trade routes in this game. You just get, I guess you just get roads from that tech. I feel like they're... I don't know, whatever. I will remember how stuff works later. So is there anything else we want to do right now? It is possible that Red will not immediately ban us from the market again, but I think it's more likely that they will, so if there's anything else we want to buy, we kind of need to make that move immediately. We don't have enough Dust Orchid to pop a Dust Orchid booster, even if we did buy this out. We could buy a bunch of wine. Just run a wine booster on top of everything else. Like, fire this right before we found the new city, so that the new city has plus 30 approval for its first 10 turns. Just, like, get stuff established in that way. That would probably be in the neighborhood of, what, at least like 500 or 600 dust to buy 35 wine. The price will increase every time we purchase. No, I think we're good. I think that's realistically all we can do. It was not as fruitful as I would have liked, but still, 2 extra heroes is a big deal. It does matter. Okay, let us continue. So I don't know exactly how long it's going to take to level up our man here, but what step of the faction quest was that? Sorry, this is the wrong button. That is 6. If I remember correctly, there's 7 or 8 chapters to each faction quest, so we're getting close to the end of ours. Now, remember, getting to the end of the faction quest will unlock the ability to do the victory quest or to attempt to build the victory wonder. So, There's still a lot of work to do once we finish the faction quest, but we definitely need to get on that as quickly as possible. Red is just pillaging my stuff. Actually, it looks like they backed off immediately. And spying is happening. Your city, Yeg, has been the target of the infiltration action target governor. See, this is good. That last action affected the whole empire, and so gave us no information about where the spy was. If the governor in Yeg has been targeted, the spy is in Yeg. What that does is it poisons the governor. You can see his health bar is purple now. I don't know exactly how much damage. We'll lose 30% life for 10 turns, but also we'll continue regenning during that time, so I'm not sure if that's actually going to end up killing him, because I don't know exactly how much regen we have. But that's a bummer. So I think what we're probably going to do here is hit the roundup button. You can see our security determines the chance of the enemy spy getting caught. Right now we are at 30% security from being happy, and we have no other security modifiers at all. We've built no security buildings or anything. So, odds are, when a spy fires off an action here, 62% chance they get away with it scot-free. We've seen that happen now twice. If we hit the roundup button, it dramatically reduces the output of our citizens, but it also dials security up for a little while and then does a spy check. So I'm going to go ahead and hit this. You can see all of our per citizen values have been cut in half for the duration. And we're going to just build some buildings that we probably should have built by now anyway. Stuff that's not going to be terribly expensive. And hopefully this will, at the very least, compel the spy to leave the city because he knows there's a chance of getting caught. Definitely refire the gold booster. Definitely keep at all of this stuff. Okay, and who still has movement left? You did not have any explicit orders. I do want to run down here and grab this, and then we'll head up and potentially do some of our own spying. So the fact that the spy was put into Yeg... Oh, hey, a new Lust for Loot. Excellent. Use a hero-led army to search that tile. Okay, we're going to maybe veer off the spy plan a little bit, because Lust for Loot, first of all, is just very good in a general sense. As you know from earlier, I have strong feelings about it. But secondly, the resource rewards for quests and for searching ruins scale up over time and scale up with the era that you're in. So a really late Lust for Loot like this can give you a lot of value. Arla has finally hit max level. Hold on. If you're potentially going to be a spy, maybe we should start up your other path. You can see here, this skill increases the seniority bonus, which is a thing that spies build up by being in a city over time. So maybe we want to head that way? I'm gonna head in that direction with your skill points for the moment. We're not really using you in combat very much anyway. And then you need to head for ruins. At the moment, I don't think Red has actually closed their borders to us. So we could just like swing through here. We know that they don't have a lot of armies around. There's one there and one there. I think we might be able to grab some loot and then bail out of here quickly. Honestly, it looks like their cities are not that well defended. Not that we need to, but maybe we could just swing in and devour them. That would be fun. Alright, so let me make sure that I have reasonable moves queued in here. In order to search this, we have to run up there. So I guess we want to grab this, then turn around and try to run out of their territory as quickly as possible afterward. I don't want to give you any orders. I want you to stay here until I move you manually. You have your orders already. You're pretty safe because you're stealthy. Okay, I think we're all in sensible positions here. So let's make sure we are commanding Tlato as quickly as possible at the beginning of this turn. And I should probably pin a different quest, because A Faith of Fire is obviously pretty low on the priority list for us. Grab this and then run away. It was a quest. We'll check out what it is in a second. I want to get away from Red's armies before they could potentially attack us. Build 2 extractors exploiting first-tier resources to get the augmented extractor tech, which doubles your output of first-tier luxuries. That's pretty solid, and we're actually going to get that pretty quickly, I think. Because we do have multiple first-tier luxury extractors queued up in this city. They would like for me to trade the very high-level technology I just learned for some titanium. Nah, no thank you, I'm alright, I'm good. Alright, so you just sail for here as quickly as you can. This is a little inconvenient, but fortunately at least there's no enemy ships around. The sharing is really, like, it's so useful for, like, knowing that when you can feel safe in situations like this. Should we go for the mithrite extractor right away? Probably. We should probably start pulling these resources in. Now that we can. So at this point, if we're talking about potentially building a wonder to complete the game, there are some technologies that we definitely need. We will certainly want hydrology, because we'll want to build the canal locks in whatever city we're building the wonder in. And then we definitely also need the industry technologies from this city, or from this era. So yeah, maybe let's consider those. We still need another 6 techs before we move up to 5. We are way behind on science. I'm going to queue those up, and we're going to just try to make a city or two that are just unbelievably productive. Legendarily productive. Here, we'll come down to this way, so we can search this ruin on the way through. Oh, hey, green. Well, I'm going to get attacked. That's what happens when you just move into the dark like this. I'm going to hit end turn here, and yeah, if they don't attack us, we're just going to move away real fast. I'm going to try to give them as little time as possible to think about this. And then we got to go and move Tlato quickly after this as well, because Tlato is definitely in a place where he could get attacked as well. And we're moving toward this ruin. Okay. He should be safe from there. Alright, I was not the first to defeat the Guardian roaming in Maribond. That's true. I don't even know where Maribond is. Oh, hey. There's an awful lot of people running around over here. Making me very nervous. Alright, remember, the cult can't attack us in the open because they have, we're friends with them. Ooh, interesting. Yes, this is what I was talking about. Sometimes you get really amazing technology. This is Tier 3 Adamantian or Palladian armor tech. To be clear, the Tier 2 Palladian or Adamantian armor tech is in an era we don't even have access to yet. So that's a very, very good reward. Where is that ruin? Okay. Wonderful news. Also, we found 120 dust in there. So obviously we're just gonna unassign you and then recreate you on top of this city. Atayu. Okay. Yeah, very, very good news. More spy stuff is happening. Undand has also been the target of spying actions, and this time we found the person who did it. Decreased populations. They killed one of our population units. Alright, well, it is probably worth... I hate to do a roundup in this city, because, like, look at all the food we're going to lose. But it is definitely worth running that unit, or running that spy out of our stuff. Because the more operations they perform in a city, the more they build up that seniority bonus, and that makes them more and more and more effective in a way that is just a huge bummer. Just a total bummer. Alright, next turn they'll be able to jump into that city garrison, which will be good news. And you're headed for land. Okay. We're getting somewhere here. Somewhere-ish. And We actually have a fair amount of money. Do I want to buy some stuff out? What would it cost to finish that? Well, okay. Unrealistic. Maybe we save the dust for... Yeah, we save the dust for the new city. What am I talking about? That makes perfect sense. Alright, so we definitely want to make sure we get you out of Red's territory as quickly as possible. And then there are some momentous things that are about to occur this turn. Also, small amounts of dust that are about to occur this turn. Yep, you need to just get down here to search that. Okay, so Tlato is back in friendly territory. We're being pillaged again. They're going to pillage the Quicksilver, except that they immediately stopped. Red is apparently very wishy-washy on their opposition to us. They're not sure how mad they are at this point. Alright, so jump into the garrison. Wait, did that not... Hold on. Let me move the hero out of the way here. Is this the Lust for Loot Ruin? It is. Okay. Why are you not getting in the garrison? There are 6 open spaces in this garrison. Do it. Go in here. Huh. I'm not sure why that's not working. They should be able to get in there, and... Alright, well, we're going to save the game here for the end of the episode anyway. Hopefully a save and reload will fix what ails us. Alright, amazing, exceptional armor technology, and that actually has a bunch of benefits. We're gonna be very happy about that. Really? Wow, we're getting very lucky on this Lust for Loot. It's generating all of the rewards in places that are very easy to get to. Endegear finished its cargo docks. So probably it makes sense to build a dust refinery here. Man, once winter ends, think of how much passive income we're going to have. Alright, so you're good. We're about to try to figure out what your deal is. So I think this is about where we're going to end the episode. We're working towards taking over territory with even more Dust Orchid. And I mean a lot of other valuable stuff too, obviously. Getting a border with Pink is maybe a little bit on the dangerous side. Pink is still expanding too. Well, you know what? It'll be valuable to just sort of cap their growth off in one direction. And then, like I said, we may end up needing this as a way of a staging ground for a war we may have to launch. But before we stop, let's talk really quickly about this armor tech we just picked up. So, for comparison's sake, the Tier 1 Dust Helm has 28 health on it and plus 10% defense. The Tier 3 Palladian Helm is 42 defense plus 35% initiative. The Tier 3 Adamantian is 42 health and 35% attack. So these are a big deal. However, 8 Adamantian per unit that wants to wear this helm. Obviously, a full suit of all Adamantian or Palladian armor would be almost too expensive to contemplate. So we'll have to give this stuff out very carefully. But in addition to just like the raw stat boosts, with the armor tech comes some cool new stuff for heroes, particularly for governor-type heroes that we're going to have to consider. So we haven't really used our accessory slots very much on our governors, but once you have advanced armor tech, you get access to some trinkets that increase the output of citizens in cities governed by people who hold them. So, for example, this is huge, right? This is unbelievably powerful. It also costs 39 Adamantian, but we are definitely going to want to put these on a fair number of our governors. This one does the same thing, but for food. Now, at a rate of 4 Adamantian per turn and 2 Palladian per turn, these represent a lot of investment, and using these is going to make it basically impossible for us to make actual armor as well. So we'll have to think about exactly what the right way to apply these is, because we're talking about some relatively limited resources here. However, we do have a lot of money coming in, and once again, we're suffering under a lot of dust penalties because of winter. When winter ends, our income is going to be phenomenal, And Red hasn't banned us from the market again, so it's possible that we can just buy big chunks of resources, especially since demand for the mid-tier strategics is at a all the way down at nearly its minimum. Yeah, it's interesting. So a lot of potential is what was just unlocked. That's going to be it for us for right now. Thank you all so much for watching. When you come back next time, hopefully tomorrow, but again, potentially side effects or whatever, there may be a little bit of an interruption. When you come back next time, whenever next time is, we're going to be putting a lot of effort into gearing ourselves up for the completion of this quest and potentially the construction of a wonder. And part of that preparation is going to involve having a standing army, because the moment that we start building that wonder, obviously we're a target for everybody. Only one player can win the game, after all. And we'll see you then.